What if you could run Ethereum applications at a fraction of the cost, with near-instant confirmations, while still inheriting Ethereum's full security, and even write smart contracts in Rust or C++? That technology suite is Arbitrum. In this full 1-hour deep dive, we cover every important detail. What Arbitrum is, the history of Offchain Labs, how optimistic rollups work, the Nitro architecture, the sequencer, interactive fraud proofs and BoLD, Arbitrum One versus Nova, AnyTrust, Stylus, Orbit chains, the ARB token and Arbitrum DAO, the ecosystem, risks, and the roadmap as of 2026. By the end, you will understand Arbitrum at a professional level. We get into crypto deep dives. Make sure to like and subscribe to be well informed. Let's begin. Arbitrum is a technology suite built by Offchain Labs that scales Ethereum using Optimistic Rollup technology. Its flagship public chain, Arbitrum One, is one of the largest Ethereum Layer 2 networks by total value locked and activity. It lets users and developers enjoy much lower fees and higher throughput while transactions ultimately settle and inherit security from Ethereum. Key products in the Arbitrum family: Arbitrum One, the main general-purpose optimistic rollup with full on-chain data availability. Arbitrum Nova, a lower-cost chain using the AnyTrust model, Data Availability Committee. Arbitrum Orbit, the framework that lets anyone launch their own customizable L2 or L3 chains on the Nitro stack. Stylus, a second virtual machine that runs WebAssembly, enabling smart contracts written in Rust, C, C++, and more alongside the EVM. Arbitrum launched its mainnet in 2021, migrated to the far more efficient Nitro stack in 2022, introduced governance via the ARB token and Arbitrum DAO, and has continued advancing fraud proofs, multi-language execution, and chain customization. Ethereum is secure and decentralized but has limited throughput, which drives high gas fees during demand spikes. A rollup moves execution off the main Ethereum chain. Thousands of transactions are executed on the Layer 2, then compressed data and a state commitment are posted back to Ethereum. Optimistic means the system assumes the posted state is correct by default. There is a challenge window during which anyone can submit a fraud proof if they detect an invalid state transition. If the challenge succeeds, the incorrect assertion is rejected and the dishonest party is penalized. This innocent until proven guilty approach is what allows optimistic rollups like Arbitrum to be highly scalable and compatible with the existing Ethereum virtual machine, while still relying on Ethereum for ultimate security and data availability. Nitro is Arbitrum's current technology stack, a major upgrade over the earlier classic version. Key design principles of Nitro. 1. Geth at the core. Nitro compiles in the core of Go Ethereum, Geth. This gives extremely high EVM compatibility because it uses the same battle-tested execution engine that powers much of Ethereum. 2. Separate execution from proving. The same source code is compiled twice, once to native code for fast normal execution on nodes, once to WebAssembly for use in fraud proofs. This separation optimizes for both speed in everyday operation and portable, verifiable proving when needed. 3. Deterministic state transition function. Once transactions are ordered, execution is fully deterministic. Given the same inputs, every honest node arrives at the exact same state. 4. Advanced compression and batching. Nitro includes sophisticated compression so that the data posted to Ethereum is as compact as possible, directly lowering L1 costs for users. The overall flow is, users send transactions to sequencer, orders them to state transition function, executes them to. Batches and state routes are posted to Ethereum to validators can challenge if necessary. The sequencer is responsible for ordering transactions. On Arbitrum One and Nova, it is currently operated by a centralized entity, though governance can change this. Users submit transactions to the sequencer, which provides fast, soft confirmations. The sequencer then posts compressed batches of transaction data to Ethereum. Even if the sequencer is offline or censors a user, there are mechanisms eventually allow transactions to be included, preserving censorship resistance over longer timeframes. The sequencer cannot steal funds or permanently block transactions. It mainly affects ordering and short-term inclusion speed. Once data is on Ethereum, any node can reconstruct the full chain state independently. Arbitrum pioneered interactive fraud proofs. Disputing parties play an interactive bisection game that narrows the disagreement down to a single execution step. Only that tiny step needs to be verified on L1. BoLD is the major upgrade to this system. It makes validation permissionless. Anyone can become a validator and challenge invalid assertions, while ensuring disputes resolve within a bounded time. BoLD removes the risk of indefinite delay attacks and was a key step toward higher decentralization stages. Only one honest party is required to defend the correct state. Arbitrum One is the flagship trust-minimized optimistic rollup. All transaction data is posted to Ethereum. It offers the strongest security guarantees and hosts the majority of DeFi liquidity and TVL. Arbitrum Nova uses the AnyTrust model. Instead of posting full data to Ethereum, data is held by a data availability committee. As long as at least one honest committee member makes the data available, the system remains secure. This dramatically lowers costs, making Nova ideal for high-volume, lower-value use cases such as gaming and social applications. The trade-off is an additional trust assumption compared with pure rollup mode. Stylus is one of Arbitrum's most distinctive innovations. It adds a second execution environment alongside the EVM that runs WebAssembly. Developers can write smart contracts in Rust, C, and C++ and deploy them on Arbitrum. These contracts can interact with traditional Solidity contracts. Stylus offers significantly cheaper compute and memory for certain workloads, opening the door to applications previously too expensive on pure EVM chains. Stylus went live on mainnet and continues to expand the developer surface of the Arbitrum ecosystem. Arbitrum Orbit lets anyone permissionlessly launch their own customizable chain using the Nitro stack. Orbit chains can be configured as full rollups or AnyTrust chains, L2 settling directly to Ethereum or L3 settling to Arbitrum One or Nova, with custom gas tokens, custom governance, and more. This has led to dozens of specialized chains for gaming, DeFi, RWAs, and application-specific needs. Orbit extends Arbitrum from a single chain into a full platform for deploying dedicated block spaces. ARB is the governance token of the Arbitrum DAO. It is not used to pay gas. ARB holders and their delegates vote on protocol upgrades, treasury spending, and Security Council elections. The Arbitrum DAO owns the chain. Governance is one of the more advanced and active DAOs in the L2 space, with formal proposal processes and progressive decentralization milestones. Arbitrum hosts a deep DeFi ecosystem and has consistently ranked among the top Ethereum L2s by TVL. Key risks: sequencer centralization, 7-day withdrawal delay to Ethereum on rollup mode, and smart contract risks. Key risks also include governance dynamics and AnyTrust committee assumptions on Nova. Roadmap themes include further sequencer decentralization, improved pricing, and faster settlement research. Arbitrum took the optimistic rollup idea, refined it with interactive fraud proofs, rebuilt it on the Nitro stack with Geth at the core, added permissionless validation via BoLD, multi-language execution with Stylus, and a full chain deployment platform with Orbit. The result is one of the most mature, battle-tested, and feature-rich scaling solutions in the Ethereum ecosystem. If this deep dive helped you, like the video, subscribe, and stay sharp, stay updated. Ethereum scales through rollups and Arbitrum remains one of its strongest pillars. Thanks for watching.